Real boring flips.
Okay, we're just entering in. This is a new estate sale company for me. It's Annie's Estate Sales, and we're in the Tacoma, Washington area, and we're just heading in. Had a whole lineup of people excited to get in there, and I'm excited to find something that I saw in the photos, which I can't remember. I think I saw board games, but here's something heavy to grab. You know me, I like to immediately get something heavy or awkward to load into my bag, and I only had a couple of small bags for some weird reason, but I did think to look inside. These were just terrible inside, and so I didn't look at all of them. I think I looked at a couple of them, but they were fairly priced for good condition, but we're not going to do that. We're going to leave those behind. We do end up getting one lid for some reason that was there on the last day. I came back to the sale several times, but if you're wondering why this store appears to look like a toy store, it's because I found out later that the woman who owned this house was a toy store owner, or at least she was part of the ownership of a toy store, and I think there was some sort of issue with the family breakup, because I think the store still exists, but a lot of this stuff just appeared to be from a toy store, and it was. So you saw me grab that little iPod Nano, which I did end up getting. I'm really just in a mad scramble to look for something that I like to sell. I did see those lava lamps, and I ended up seeing the guy buying them. I don't know how great they were, and I've never sold any of that stuff loose like that, so I'm surprised I didn't grab that globe, because I love collecting globes that don't sell. Did check out the cameras. None of them were at least the kind that I would want to sell. I think that was a Canon 35 millimeter, but the rest of them were not good for resale. There was lots of interesting things. Like, this was clearly a house that had stuff in it for a long time. Really unusual stuff. Just trying to find. There's the board games. So tightly packed in there, they were really difficult to pull anything out to look at. And at this point, I didn't know what prices were for any of this. They had like standard pricing on board games, which I think was like $8. I didn't realize that. But we do end up getting a couple of games there I get one there on this trip, and then I get some more later. I do end up getting that game, and what was interesting about it was marked demo game, not for sale, not for resale or something. And so this was a toy store, and apparently that game was the demo game, but it was actually new inside, so no one ever demoed it. I put that back. It was too creepy. I don't know if it was valuable enough to sell, but just too creepy for me. Looking for anything that I think might be sellable. I've sold those super spirographs before. At some point I do take a closer look at it, and like a lot of times you'll see those games and a lot of the little pieces are broken in half. Like they don't survive a lot of that spirographing, which, if you remember, you're constantly spinning those things and coloring and putting a lot of pressure on them, and they break in half. And that one had a lot of broken pieces. It was not an unused demo. I'm not sure at this point what I'm missing in this sale, but I'm looking at this stuff. If you saw when I walked in, I walked right through a whole room full of Playmobil, and in hindsight, I probably should have just stayed in that room the entire time, because I got very little outside of that room. And in fact, I questioned myself why I didn't just buy the entire room of Playmobil stuff. Let me know. Have you ever done that? Have you ever bought a room full of stuff at an estate sale like this? I'm not sure what I would have offered or what I would have paid for it, but in hindsight, yeah, I probably should have done that. Just kind of scanning these other rooms. I had an estate sale, probably one of the best estate sales I've ever been to. I bought an entire room. Oh, I tried stealing that from that guy. I bought an entire room of electronics at an estate sale for $1,400, and I'm over $10,000 in sales with a ton more to go. It's incredible. Sometimes those opportunities come up and you just have to grab them. I remember at that sale a guy telling me after I'd bought the room that those sales don't come along very often, and you just have to go for it when you find them. I'm digging through. I like to look through the little totes of wires that end up underneath tables. That video game guy was digging through that stuff too. There's a Panasonic VCR remote. I grabbed that. Looking for headphones, maybe some vintage Sony headphones. There's another remote I didn't get. The pricing was interesting because some things seemed to be way overpriced and some things were reasonably priced. That was one of those Sony ebook readers, that format died out long ago. Kind of like the what was the Borders version of the book reader, or the Barnes and Noble version. I can't remember what it was called. The Kindle reigns on all that stuff. Pretty cool stuff in here. Just finding it difficult to find anything. Thought there might be some cool tennis rackets, but I think that was empty. Oh, there's a tennis racket. Howdy, partner. So I think we are finding that the rooms have a lot of stuff, but not a lot of stuff for real boring flips. So we're going to head upstairs to more rooms that are very similar to the other rooms. Just lots of stuff. And lots of people. This was pretty crowded. Really cool displays, really cool vintage stuff. Just at the prices that they had asked, I knew I wasn't going to be a shopper as a reseller. This kind of caught my eye. It was interesting. It had that look like it was vintage. I think they wanted $65 for it, and it's actually brand new. It's one of those things that companies market to make them look old. So it looked old, but you could buy them for about $30 brand new. There was that's one thing I remembered from the pictures. There was a box that said Marks, like a Marks train set, but inside it wasn't a Marks train set. I think there was 2 boxes of them, and they weren't the Marks train sets. They were just some random things, or just track or something. I was interested in those, but they just weren't it. So we're gonna head back downstairs after that trip. Thought maybe I'd find something. Still looking at that cookware. Still hoping for something super heavy and awkward to carry around. Yeah, I did check the rest of them just to double check. But yeah, they were roasted. Thought about that Ninja, but again, the prices were too high for my reselling. Here's a bunch of glass. That's always if I can't find heavy or awkward, might as well get something super breakable. no, looking for green glass, looking for, Fire King or something that I could at least get something out of. So I come back to the Playmobil room, and this is where I end up staying. That piece right there is a piece that I didn't get, and it was gone, and it went to a set that I did buy. So I'm super disappointed that somehow someone bought that piece without buying the rest of it. I have no idea why someone would have bought that piece, but it was gone. I do have the rest of the set, though. We bought so many sets. I'm just going to throw up some pictures of some of my listings, some of the things we've already sold. I ended up paying over the course of a couple of days of coming back to this sale. I only filmed the first day, but over the course of a couple of days, I spent about $400, maybe $450 on Playmobil itself, and I think we're about $400 or $450 in sales already after selling 2 items. So we're gonna do well. I had started selling some Playmobil stuff in the last year, and so when I recognized what was here, some of it was just would not have been worth. It just was too new, or just not something that had any much value. But I probably could have gotten a better deal if I just said I'll buy all the Playmobil stuff here. But in the end, I got quite a bit of stuff. Super happy with what we got. That pirate ship, I think, is really what started me thinking about making a large purchase. I'll show you the one sale that we made so far of a pirate ship, but certain types of items seem to sell well in whatever format. Legos, Playmobil, Imaginext. Pirate ships are one of them. And the thing about almost all of these Playmobil sets is they were store demos. So they didn't come in retail packaging. They came in store demo packaging. So in fact, the ship that I'll show you, it was shipped from Playmobil to the store, basically complete with the bags, all the accessories, figures and whatnot, still bagged. So in the one I'm showing you, it's the ship, the lighthouse, and then all the bags are still sealed. And so that was kind of unique about this sale, was because of the toy store. It was a little bit different. We did get that cash register, one of the cash registers that you saw there. They were $65. I got the better one, on the last day at half price. But I'm basically building a huge pile in the middle of this room of my stuff. I'm, grabbing the castles. I'm grabbing pirate ships. Eventually, I ended up grabbing all the accessory figures, all the bagged accessories that were still sealed. Those things like that, the sailboat and that other vehicle. Those were gone by the time I came back, but I didn't get that. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you probably should just make an offer for the whole room, call it good. I don't think I could have got the whole room for 500 or something the first day, but by coming back a couple of days, at a couple of times during this weekend, I was able to get some great stuff. Super happy with it. That bag right there, I think it said for pirate ship. So it was just loaded full of pirates, accessories, weapons, all that stuff. Probably the best set that we got was one of the castle sets. That, although the castle's not complete, it came with a couple of accessory castle pieces, and then all the figures are still bagged. So they've never been played with, and all the figurines are complete. That makes it so much more desirable. And not to mention, I got a lot of the original instruction sets or sheets. You can get a lot of that stuff online, but it's nice to have the original sets. One of the pirate ships I got was the display model, and then I got the whole pirate ship still sealed in the, it's just in a bag. It's not in a retail packaging. I do have to say that some of the sets my kids have put in arguments towards keeping. So we've got the dinosaur set, we've got the caveman, Neanderthal, mastodon set that we are keeping. That's the set that I'm missing, the yellow piece. Another pirate ship. I think I got 5 different pirate ships. Now, we're in this room, but once I started kind of dealing on these sets, the lady said, did you look outside? And there was a bunch more boxes of Playmobil. And that's where I found the boxed set, the display set that had the pirate ship and the lighthouse. And she said they were out there because I think she said that they weren't sure if everything was in there, and they had come in from the basement, so they weren't sure the condition. They thought they were too dirty, and really they were very clean. So I got that. I sold one recently, got another one that was missing the top. I just got another one of the Noah's Arks. And that really was a display. The figures were glued, hot glued in, and it's missing a bunch of the pieces. But still, that will still sell. I've added Playmobil to my must investigate whenever I see sets or bags of figures. It just seems like it's too good of a buy if you can get them cheap enough. I didn't get that big tanker. I think someone ended up with that. But all the sets I did get, I got most of the bagged, steel sealed bagged accessories and figures. I got some of the farms, really large sets of farms. Really amazing. It's some other games and things in there. I'm just scouring. Oh, we got that Yam Slam, I think it's called. That's a pretty fun game. And since then, we got another one at a garage sale, and I got a mini set of Yam Slam at Goodwill. So my kids are going to be getting those for gifts. So surprise. Nope, nothing good. Nothing good. As much as I want, I think I've settled on what I'm going to do with Playmobil, but I'm trying to do one last zoom around the house to see if there's anything worth getting. There were some computer discs or disc holders, or there was some 35 millimeter film I thought about getting, but I don't have a projector for that. I do like sales like this where there's just so much weird stuff to look at, but I'm just a little disappointed that there was not a lot of stuff I was in the game on. Normally I can find, a bag full of stuff that is just going to be good for me, but You know, thought maybe like this. It's a vintage computer game, Tetris. They just wanted too much for it. I think I've got that anyway. I think that was I can't remember if that was a Commodore or Amiga version. Maybe it was a Macintosh version. I'm not sure. Good stuff, just not super valuable. And not at that price. Not worth reselling. There was a Panasonic car stereo there that I had looked at, but it also wasn't worth picking up.
Yeah. Move. Okay, give me your keys. Give me your keys.
It was interesting just watching people go from room to room. I did peek through those records. They were for the most part, the triple C's. If I didn't already have a ton of this stuff, I would have tried to get some of that, some of those slide reels, but I just got a ton of them, and still looking for a projector for mine. There was a turntable there. I don't know if I looked at it. I think I did. I don't think it was special. Part of the problem that I had at this sale is I've got such a backlog of inventory that some of these things I might have gotten and I just didn't. So we headed over to another sale. This was neighboring sale. This is honest estate sale. So you saw these guys in a previous video. Great to deal with. I didn't come to this sale right off the bat because I just didn't see a darn thing in the pictures. Not a thing in the pictures that I was interested in.
Real boring. We watch you all the time. My husband John is the record
Oh,
guy.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I loved his comment the other day.
Good to see you. He'll be down there.
Let's get him on
I'm sure
film.
he'd like to say hi.
It's always funny to meet people that now I'd met her husband before. I don't think I'd met her before, but it's always fun to meet people that recognize you from your YouTube channel.
My own problem.
You're a petite little thing.
Okay. Accidentally taping long messages.
John, your wife said hi. I said, let me go get him on film.
Hey, yeah, we've been watching your show.
That's what I walked in and she said, real barn flips.
Oh, you recording? Oh, you should post that one where he was going off, man.
I am. I'm working on it. I gotta do it just like it has to fit with what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm working on it.
Yes, I think it
So
is.
we had an awkward issue that came up at a previous estate sale. And John's always trying to get me to put that footage out in a video, and I will someday. It's not terrible. It's just an awkward situation that happened that I ended up filming. Here's some electronics. Bose. I always look at Bose. I don't think that was priced too high for me. Here's a remote. I'm going to look at remotes, of course, but that was part of some device there. I don't know what that was, why that was a remote. There's a Wii board. I didn't see a Wii. There's a Wii bag over here I take a look at, but too high priced. If that was like $10, I would have grabbed it.
played saxophone in 5th grade, but
I think it was 25 or some crazy amount.
I'm more of a strings. I like bass. I play bass.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
I like to kind of reserve my requests for better prices on stuff that really is important to me, because this sale is probably only 4 hours in, so it's gonna be hard to get a price reduction on that. And I don't know, waste those times of goodwill from the estate sale companies. It's funny because you'll see people that, walk in and 5 minutes later they're asking for a price reduction. This house is very clean, which means doesn't have a lot of stuff, and that means that's probably why I wasn't interested in the first place. Too clean, not enough stuff. I look for the boring stuff just piled up everywhere. So we're going to make another attempt. Check out some more stuff that was downstairs. Upstairs was a complete dud. Some vintagey looking stuff. It's funny, your built-in radar is really just looking for that thing that looks unique. That looks like it could be worth buying to resell for good profit. And I pretty much looked at every room, and turns out there's basically just one room in this house that had anything worth looking at.
I'm gonna go pay for these and then
Okay. Yeah,
not a lot to see here.
And this is about the only room.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
You find any juicers?
Not here. I went to an estate sale yesterday in somewhere in North Tacoma. I can't remember now. But they had a ton of Playmobil, so I got a ton of retired Playmobil sets.
Oh yeah.
I just sold one not too long ago, a retired castle that wasn't even complete for like $260.
Oh jeez.
And I got another one of those exact castles, plus another one, plus like 5 pirate ships. And so,
Yeah, I've sold those. Playmobil. Is that the one with the people that
the little figures and stuff.
does it fit on the round thing?
No, that's
No, that's Fisher
that's
Price.
yeah, that's Imaginext. I sold one of those recently, but they don't get as much.
Yeah.
You get anything in there?
Yeah.
I didn't see anything in any of the photos. It was like I gotta be here, but
Yeah, that's why we just.
I went back to that sale today to get some more of the Playmobil stuff. So
Yeah, we stopped by. Do you know SOS in Olympia?
oh yeah, you think
They
you
got-
mentioned that?
Okay.
They got a bunch of electronics. They got a reel-to-reel player and some stereo components.
Yeah.
It's in like Lincoln.
So you guys down that way?
Yeah. Yeah, they're in Lacey.
Yeah, that's like the Outer Banks for me.
Oh, you don't go down
'Cause
there?
I gotta travel too far,
Oh, yeah.
especially like gas nowadays.
Oh yeah, gas. Yeah, I think that's putting a damper on a lot of shit. Gas prices.
Gas
prices suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something they got the original boxes.
Yeah, that's cool. That would make it nice, but I just don't like selling stuff like this.
Oh, you don't?
No. Prices on them, $100
$100?
for a set.
I sell sets of encyclopedias a lot.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah, because there's forbidden knowledge.
Yeah.
It's censored off everywhere else.
I sell those big dictionaries a lot
Oh yeah.
because for the same reason.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Words that disappear.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, good luck. I don't think I'm going to get anything here.
Oh, there's a sewing machine.
Well, I think we've run our course on trying to find something at this estate sale. I walked out of many estate sales with nothing in the bag, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, you're not. It's like going fishing. You know, it's called fishing, not catching, and so we're out here thrifting, but it doesn't mean we come home with anything. I got some great stuff at the other sale, and so we're going to take you to the haul and show you all that. But if you enjoy this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing. That really helps us. Okay, so we're back. This was an unexpected day of thrifting, so I'm just going to be tacking this on to another thrifting video, live thrifting video. So, but we're going to go through this amazing stuff. We went back to the, actually I made 2 trips back to the Playmobil estate sale, and what you see here, this bottom tote, this box, this tote, and especially this item right here. In addition, I had a couple of more totes that I got yesterday from the same sale. I didn't film the second time in, but just some great stuff. I'm so happy to see this because this was the missing piece from my large medieval castle. I'm hoping to get $500 for the entire set. The castle is not new, but all the internal parts are still bagged new, and I have 3 different add-on sets that are all new. So very hard set to find. I've sold this set before, not in the same condition, but so glad to find this one piece. So we got this for $40 today. We also got a couple other items at that same sale. This is one of them. It's a extra thick wooden puzzle. Hoping that's all together. I paid a couple of dollars for it. No big deal. We also over here got this cash register. This is a Casio CE2400 with the manual. I did test it out. Does print. Seems to work. I got all the keys. I got the programmer key, the operator key, and the drawer key, which is normally hard to get, but it's there. So this was $65, but half off today. So I think she charged me like 30, well, half of 65, whatever. So, and then also my wife found this. You might have seen in the original thrifting video from the sale, they had a lot of vintage Le Creuset pans, and the pans were just thrashed. But this lid was still sitting there today. It's got a little bit of issue around the edge here, but we only paid $1 for it. It's a vintage number 14 lid. I'm sure someone will want this, even with a little bit of enamel issues along the edge. $1. And then we made a couple of trips to Goodwill, and start here. These 2 items. This is a Smeg water kettle, and if you don't know Smeg, S-M-E-G, you should make sure you become familiar with Smeg and know what to look for. I found that in Goodwill for $10. It's already sold. But it's an easy $100 sell in this condition. Now, this is the chrome color. Some of the other, like the baby blue, some of the other colors are probably more desirable, but still nice condition silver. And I also got this these set of Beats wireless headphones. These were $6. I've already tested them. I've actually used them. I'll probably keep them. I'm not sure the resale value on these, but I was looking for a set of headphones like this, wireless, and these are, I think, the Solo 3 Connect. Nice headphones, though. They work with the app. Everything works great. And then another trip, second trip to Goodwill, got this. I was hoping this was the Lindsey Graham version. This is the second one of these I've gotten, a second different version of the Disney Parks Bubble Sprayer Ariel. This is not the Lindsey Graham version, but it does work. It's pretty cool. One way on the switch just plays the sounds, and the other
The other way blows the bubbles out if you have stuff down here. But cute little toy, $3. And then here's what I want to show you about this Blu-ray player. I just got one of these the other day, and I gotta go check that one. But a lot of times when you buy stuff like this, oops, my camera's doing something weird. A lot of times when you buy stuff like this, you look at them and you go, they're all beat to heck. Look how scratched up this thing is. Now, the reason I got this one was, for one, it was $2 today. But this version is clear right here. So when it's playing, it throws some light through here, and you actually see your disc spinning right there as the disc goes in here. This isn't super desirable. You're not going to make a ton of money selling these. But what I wanted to show you on this is all beat up, but it is very easy to clean because all you do is peel off the protective film that was never removed by the original owner. So that'll be an easy way to clean this up and make it more presentable. $2, it's a 3D Blu-ray Samsung. And I don't know if I have the remote for that, but they're easy to come by. So that was 2 different stops to Goodwill. I had another stop at a garage sale. We actually went back there today because when I stopped there the first day, I got this Disney Parks Mickey for $2. And I also got this sealed Xbox One game, King's Quest, for $4. And the person having the sale said that their brother was going to be selling some of his Xbox stuff, but he wasn't sure what, so she was going to check with him and have it out today. We went back today and she said he decided not to sell it. So we ended up leaving there without any more stuff, but was really hoping to find some great Xbox stuff. After I went to that garage sale the first day, I went to a couple others and went to a random sale, and I was just freestyling. I wasn't looking for garage sales, I was just driving around. Found this nice chicken roaster size Wagnerware for $2. Now, you're noticing that it's really dark on the outside, and the woman said this has been the best barbecue pot they've ever had. So this should clean up. It's gonna take a little bit of work, but that'll clean up. But for $2, you can never pass these up. And then today we had a pickup. I bought one thing on an estate sale here in our town, and it was this whole box, actually, minus the aerial, whole box of basically boat navigation type stuff. But one of the items in there was this Garmin GPS Map 440S with the screen cover, with the mount, with the power cord, and with the transducer. And I've sold other models of these before for really good money, a couple of $100s. I expect to get close to that on this one, but I paid $1 for this. So if I get $200 for that, that is really awesome. That's a 200x for me. So hoping to get 200 on that. And then the last thing I want to show you, we stopped at another garage sale. We actually stopped twice. The first trip in, I got this Vitamix blender. I was not familiar with these. I knew it was Vitamix because I saw the little spinny design here. They wanted $20 for it. It's brand new. It's never been used. They didn't have the box, but we left. I looked at comps and decided I better go back and get that. And then they also had this tool bag, which turned out to be very fortunate. This was $10, but it also had the Stanley Fatmax tape measure. You can sell these for at least $15 plus shipping. I'm going to keep this one because my other Fatmax is my favorite tape measure I've ever owned. I'm going to keep that one. But it was very fortunate that we got these tools, because after leaving, we went to another couple of garage sales and then decided to go back to that garage sale again because they also had this Schwinn Aeroglide for $25. And we started looking at comps. I knew they were valuable, but I didn't know how valuable. Now we'll have to local sell this, but really nice condition, Schwinn Aerodyne. The control does work. The batteries are a little weak, but it does work. The only issue on this, I think, is just some of the foam grip here is come apart. But other than that, this thing works awesome. Now, you should have seen what we had to do to get this and all this other stuff in the back of our Tesla, because we basically had to disassemble this, but fortunately we had our tool bag here and we were able to make all that happen. So just an all-around great find. We paid $25 for that, but hardly paid any money. Oh, I guess I do have one more item. We stopped at another garage sale and got this Magnavox VHS DVD player for $5. So I always pick those up if I get them about that cheap. Under $10, I'll pick them up at a garage sale and untested. But yeah, an awesome add-on to my normal round of thrifting. Unexpected. And I forgot to mention this. So I have not seen one of these in so long, but this is a iPod. What were these called? The original Nanos, but really cool. And this one has some music on it, but yeah, I think it's 8 gigabytes. I think that said. But yeah, this was just part of our haul at the Playmobil estate sale. I got a couple other games there too, and I'll just show you pictures for those. So I completely forgot about the Feel the Velvet vintage metal sign that was hiding behind everything. When we went back to get the Schwinn bike, the gentleman said, "You can take that for free so you have something to look at while you pedal your bike." And I looked at my wife and I said, "Oh, I'm sure she agrees."